To convince people even further, he stated that he would be fighting bare-knuckled with no gloves at all, but in fact the discussion of the rules was something that almost ended this show before it had begun. Vince McMahon Sr. was actually involved with boxing promoter Bob Arum in making this fight happen. Inoki's New Japan Pro Wrestling had just started making contact with the WWF, and supposedly, according to author Josh Gross, Vince Sr. insisted that Ali should take a dive against Inoki and save himself the pain of an actual loss in a fight he could get seriously hurt in. But then Ali went on ABC's Worldwide of Sports and had exhibition matches with several wrestlers and actually beat them pretty easily. But negotiating the rules of this mixed style fight proved tricky and went down to the wire. Ali's camp was understandably anxious to protect their champion from serious harm or embarrassment. Inoki's side wanted as few limitations as possible to make it a true test. The original agreement was a no-holds-barred contest including elbows, chops, no stand-ups and only breaks when grappling on the ropes. There was no biting and no eye gouging or headbutting, but essentially almost anything goes, including if they wanted 4-ounce gloves, but they could also fight bare-fisted. Ali could punch on the canvas, but Inoki couldn't because he was a wrestler and had to stick to his style. But as the fight drew nearer, Ali's team grew warier of Inoki's grappling. They feared Inoki might try submission holds or dangerous throws that could injure Ali. On Fight Week in Tokyo, intense haggling over the rules took place, nearly derailing the entire event. A special set of rules was formalized at the final hour, and these rules restricted heavily what Inoki could do. Notably, kicks were only legal if one of Inoki's knees were on the mat, meaning he couldn't throw any kicks from a standing position. And kicks from a down position were allowed, but it was an odd provision that would ultimately shape the entire fight. Inoki was banned from using any elbow or karate chops, and he could not punch Ali with a closed fist. The referee they chose for this one though was none other than Judo Gene LeBell. Seemingly as well the only man on planet Earth fit to referee a match like this, with experience in both boxing and wrestling, as well as having fought in the mixed rules fight against Savage. Ultimately though, Inoki's camp felt that these last minute changes were grossly unfair, essentially declawing the wrestler. Inoki was disgusted but ultimately still agreed to proceed under the strict rules, as this was literally right at the last minute. So the fight went down June 26, 1976 at the Nippon Budokan Hall in Tokyo, airing live via closed circuit television to ticketed arenas across the globe. The potential audience was estimated at over 1 billion. Bob Arum claimed that 34 countries would be broadcasting the fight, with 1.4 billion viewers anticipated worldwide, and before the main event there was a live card from New York with the WWF. Journalist Dave Meltzer later put it best: fans had expected something like a cross between a boxing and a pro wrestling match, but confusion over the rules meant that they basically got neither.